And I just want to know if the story is true or not. You were traveling to Atlantic City, and your limo broke down. Husband and wife pulled up behind, and the husband basically said, I'm going to help him out. So he helped out the limousine, and a week later, the husband and wife received the deed to their house paid off. Was that a true story?
It's true. It's true.
It's awesome.
He gave you a check? He gave you a $10,000 check?
Yeah. He ended up, well, after I met him, it was just, so I started walking in the white tent, and they all started clapping, and I felt God's presence in there. I really did. And, you know, and Donald Trump is the most genuine, humble, caring person I've ever met in my life. And I owe everything to him. You know, he did a lot for my dad, who's battling cancer, and I don't ever know how to repay him. But
what did he do for your dad?
He turned around and said, take care of him. And then he leaned over and said, write him a check for $10,000. And
today, President Trump, flanked by former champ Lennox Lewis and boxing superfan actor Sylvester Stallone, issued a pardon. The president hinted at this potential forgiveness weeks ago, tweeting, Sylvester Stallone called me with the story of Jack Johnson. His trials and tribulations were great.
And there's the commander-in-chief at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland as he prepares to board the helicopter. He notices the Marines. It looks like a hat. It's not a hat. It's referred to as a cover, but it blew off. The president picks it up, places it back on the Marine's head, but it blows off again. And then another military official then grabbing the cover. And that's a valiant effort by the president. That's your Daily Click today.
And look how poised the Marine is.
Didn't move. Absolutely.
Never moved.
And sometimes I think that he does it because he realizes that he can. He just walks into a politically fraught situation. This has, you know, the politics of abortion, life, health care, everything. And he just walks in and says, you know what, I want to help that kid.
Pretty much very famous and had lots of money, would be interested in saving a poor Georgia farmer to help save his family farm that's been in his family for hundreds of years. What it meant to us going to New York to meet Donald Trump was a celebration. We met at breakfast to go over raising enough money to save most of the farm, and so we were there for like a burning of the deed ceremony.
And now, as promised, the man who lives in his own golden tower in New York City. For that matter, he could live just about anywhere in the Western Hemisphere because he has developed magnificent tracts of land and owns the gleaming casinos and hotels which are on top of them. We could only be talking about Donald Trump. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for joining us this morning.
Hiya, Dan.
I have heard that you are worth something like $3 billion, but to read your book, The Art of the Deal, you don't care to count exactly how much you're worth, do you?
Well, I don't know what I'm worth. I know that from the standpoint of the book, I've done a book. The charities go to, the money all goes to charity that we're making from the book. The book has become a tremendous success, which I'm happy to say, and it's something that makes a lot of charities very happy, too, because, as I said, the money goes to charity, so I'm very happy about it.
It tells you...
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs,
We are going to beat the Democrats.
I think this is the kind of thing that people love to fantasize about, because you are unquestionably one of the most successful men in the country, if not the world, and also one of the wealthiest. So give us a figure that we might ponder here.
You'll never get it out of me, David. You'll never get it out of me. You'll try, but you'll never get it. Let's get something like how we're going to become more successful. Let's talk about that.
I read something this afternoon that said in the bank right now you have $500 million in cash. In cash. Is that a fair?
Which paper did you read that in?
Well, I can't divulge those sources.
You have to give me the newspaper.
No, just tell me, is that not true, or is that close? Am I nuts here?
Well, I don't know. You have to tell me where you got that, David. This is a very unusual interview, folks.
You won't put a figure, just an imaginary figure?
Never would.
$1 billion. You're worth $1 billion?
Perhaps.
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 Perhaps. Are we the low side of perhaps or the high side of?
And I've
you
done
have
a good
really
job.
got the world by the ass, don't you?
No, I don't know. I work hard. I work hard. Like you, I work hard.
You're fired.
Donald Trump was a New York tabloid fixture. All through the 1980s, Trump was busy building something new. And
you didn't say that you want to be worth $1 billion.
No, I really don't. I just want to keep busy and keep active.
And drug prices in this country actually came down last year for the first time in 50 years. That's because Donald Trump is president. Firm believers that you can't beat something with nothing. Republicans have better ideas than Democrats.